Welcome to Life by Design. We're helping you here to switch on the power you have in you to create the future you've always wanted for yourself, your family, and for those of us who are much more determined for our community and for our nation also. And I'm Joe Abbas Bangura. Question, big question. Can you really tell if somebody is going to be successful before they do? Is it possible? And that's the question we'll be diving into today. 7 signs somebody's going to be successful before they even do. It doesn't matter whatever it is, they have to do it faster, better, and bigger. They just have this one desire. I am going to do this better than you. It's all about competition. Now, people think the moment you talk about competition, it has to be negative. But it doesn't have to be negative. Every advancement we've made in life as a people on planet Earth has come out of our determination to compete. From the time people were using donkeys to the time they used cars, from the slowest cars to trains that use coal engine to now having the fastest. What's happening? One level to the other. A determination that we have to get better at what we do. And it's competition. It's all about competition. People who do not succeed are passive. Nations that are not very competitive they are passive nations, and those passive nations, it's difficult for them to succeed. And I hear this story all the time. People talk about our country, Sierra Leone, and even today, this afternoon, I was talking to somebody who I was demanding for a better quality of service, a higher standard of quality in one of the big offices in this country. And the guy came back to me and said, well, this is not salon. What was he saying? Well, in Sierra Leone, you'd have to accept a lower standard. Just like people could tell you, well, na black man time, because there's a GMT, which is on the dot, 5 o'clock is 5 o'clock, but black man time say 5 o'clock. Whether it's wedding, it's reception, it doesn't matter. People always know it's not going to start on time. We are so passive to accept this, and it's become a norm. So people say, okay, now so we meet her. This na salon. But when was the first time? When was the last time? When was the initial time that you had people jumping into the street and said, we've been here for 3 weeks, we don't get water. We've been here for 3 months and there's no water reaching this place, and we are paying our taxes. We demand better services. When was the last time anybody did that? We don't, because we are passive. Business alone. And there's a lot more I've got to be able to say to that. No, we should refuse to do that. We should be so competitive as a nation that we would, and it actually has to start with what's being competitive as individuals, as people, and stop tolerating some of the things we are tolerating now and says, no, this must stop. That's a competitive spirit. That's a spirit that is not passive. Anybody, a first sign that somebody is going to be successful in life, they are absolutely super competitive. A second sign that people are going to be successful in life, they finish things. They finish what they begin. People who are going to be successful in life always finish things. Maybe less than 20% of people would actually begin and finish a book they are reading. 90% of the time we read the first chapter. Halfway into the second chapter, you look at half of the books that we have in our libraries, we don't complete things. And people move it not just from books, but if you look at the life of a lot of people all over the world, all over the country, all over our nation, Sierra Leone, is half-hearted, half-committed. People who do not have the energy and courage to finish what they began. And so the moment that becomes part of your life, the moment becomes part of what you are used to, you know what happens? You look at their lives, you see half-finished education, half-finished marriages, half-finished houses, half-finished everything, whether it's in our construction, it's in our building, it's in our roads. It's not with the standard, it's incomplete. When people take that as a normal stuff and this is the way life is, you have people who will be difficult for them to succeed because they don't finish. They don't have staying power. They can't follow through on what they began to be able to make sure I will see this thing through. I'll persevere to be able to make sure I get this to work. Second sign that somebody's going to be successful, they finish things. Sign number 3, their circle outshines them. If you have a circle that out-earns you in money, in income, in lifestyle, eventually, if the people, majority of the people who are around you are ahead of you in life, in all of the things I've listed, and you spend enough time with them, eventually they are going to inspire you to grow. Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together. We've said it all the time. There's no better position. And, but what happens in life is a lot of the time we're comfortable with being in a comfort zone. A lot of the time you have people who just want to be able to have small people around them. They are threatened. You have people in offices where they are the boss. They must be the biggest person in the room. They are threatened by anybody that is coming into the organization, even if it's their staff, they are the managing director. But the moment they start seeing 1, 2, 3 sharp people coming around them who they think these guys have what I don't have, they feel threatened. And you know what? The next thing that happens is a fight. Because they want to be the biggest person in the room. They want to be the biggest fish in the pond. They do not associate. They do not go around people who would challenge them. And they go back home every day wanting to fight more, to get better, and being inspired because they are threatened, they are insecure. People who would succeed in life, one sign is they are comfortable with playing in the midst of people who are better than them at everything and every way they can be measured, because this inspires them to grow. Sign number 4 that somebody is going to be successful in life: their mind never stops. If there's anything that is true around me in my life, and what has led me to this unbelievable journey that started 30 years ago in my life, is that my mind never stops. I'm thinking about how to get things better, faster, stronger. Continuously in my mind. My mind never stops. Whether it's meditation, I'm processing scriptures and I'm keeping them in my head and I'm meditating on them, my mind never stops. I am inputting into my life all the time by my thoughts. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I build my life with my thoughts. I build energy. My mind never stops. Sign number 4 that somebody is going to be successful: their mind never stops. Credible people see you going places. If 5 people, separate people, if your parents, somebody at home, somebody in church, somebody in your mosque, somebody at school, somebody at your work, spread across the place, and they can look at you, if 5 credible people can look at you and say you're going places, it's a sign. When I met Reverend John Bobson Toure in my late teens, and he met me and he looked at me in spite of everything that was happening, failed O-levels, and lost my path in life as a young man. But he could look at me and he said to my parents, I was talking about myself and my elder brother. He said, "These children of yours will talk to nations." Reverend John Bobson Toure. He said, "These children of yours will talk to a nation." One sign that you're going to be successful in life: credible people see you go places. Sign number 6 that you are going to be successful in life: somebody's going to be successful, they never stop learning. People who are going to be successful never stop learning. I have my boss, Paul Skiller. Paul Skiller is the founder for Call to Business and is one of the biggest mentors in my life. If I've known anything about entrepreneurship, giving me the opportunity to build a Call to Business since 10 years ago when I met him, Paul Skiller, he's commented a lot of the time how I always ask questions. I'll always have questions. So the company has, in UK, has a lot of young people that would be twice older than some are 23, 24 years of age, 25 years of age. But these young men, because of the exposure they've had, they know things I don't know. So the humility that I have to be able to sit down and ask them questions. Why did you do it this way? What does this mean? And just my ability to be able to sit down, just be humble enough to learn from everybody, learn from these young men. like I said, I'm twice older than them, but I'm able to sit down. There's no problem with me. People who are going to go places, a sign that people are going to be successful is their ability to be able to not stop learning. They can't stop learning. They will not stop learning. They can't help themselves. They want to know this. They want to know that. They want to get better at this. They want to get better at that. They want to get better at everything. There's a constant desire to want to be a better student, to learn more. That is one of the things that's been driving my life. I learn all the time. I sleep, I learn. I play my iPad going to bed. I learn every day. I am obsessed with learning. I've said to my guys that the two things that are holding me back in life, that would hold anybody between them and their dreams, two things. And I said, one of them has to do with what you need to know that you don't know. A knowledge deficiency, a knowledge deficit. What you need to know that you don't know. The second thing that would hold you back in life, what you already know to do that you're not doing. You know to do, but you're not doing. So between the knowledge deficit and the action deficit, knowledge gap and action gap, if you fix these two, you will go places. You will go places. So knowledge, that's why I build myself every day. Knowledge. I must be knowledgeable. Physically, spiritually, mentally, psychologically. What is this happening to me? I am learning all the time. The sixth sign that somebody is going to be successful in life, they never stop learning. And finally, not the least. It's the last but not the least. The seventh sign that somebody is going to be successful in life, they are extremely obsessive. They are extremely obsessive. You know, if you were able to dissect the minds of people who are obsessive, you wouldn't believe what's going on in their mind. You would be concerned. And again, possibly that's a concern my wife shares all the time, because there's a place I have to go. There's something I have to achieve. There's something I've committed myself to. There are people I answer to. There are staff that I have to be able to make sure the businesses I'm running work for, to be able to pay their salaries, keep them going, keep the lights on. Whilst we fix what is not working, I am obsessed with fulfilling my dream, fulfilling my vision, fulfilling my calling in life. I'm obsessed. A sign that people are going to be successful in life is this obsessed. They can't stop thinking about where they're going. So those are the seven signs. Those are the seven signs that somebody is going to be successful. Now, how many of these do you have? How many of these you have? If you say you have 3 of them, what you need to do, go to somebody that would validate it for you and says, how many of these you think? Because the more of these you have, the greater the chances that you're going to be successful in life. If you will continue to work on these 7 things in your life and raise your proficiency in each and every one of them, the chances are so high. Before it even happens, I can tell that you are going to be successful in life.